Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into one of the sneakiest little puzzles in the English language. I'm talking about the secret life of words that end in ing. You know, they look so simple, but they are absolute grammatical chameleons. They change their jobs from one sentence to the next. So you gotta wonder, right? How can one little word be so many different things? How can it be an action, a description, and a thing all at the same time? Well, that is the exact mystery we are going to solve together today. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, let's look at our first clue. The sentence is, Ashraf loves dancing. Now think about it. Dancing here isn't what Ashraf is doing right this second. It's the thing that he loves. It's basically acting like a noun, just like if we said, Ashraf loves pizza.
Okay, now for Exhibit B. I saw a crying baby. Here, crying isn't the main action of the sentence, right? I'm not the one crying. Instead, it's describing the baby. It's telling us what kind of baby it was. It's doing the job of an adjective. And for our last piece of evidence, the tap was running for an hour. In this one, running is absolutely part of the main action. It's a crucial piece of the verb phrase was running. It's telling us what the tap was doing. So, we've seen it as a noun, an adjective, and a verb. How in the world do we keep them all straight? Don't you worry, we've got a roadmap. First, we'll cover the basic jobs that words have. Then, we'll meet our two main suspects, the gerund and the participle. We'll even have them face off in a little showdown so you can learn to tell them apart. And finally, we'll uncover a surprise twist with something called the verbal noun.
Okay, so let's start by putting together our basic toolkit. Because if we're going to unmask these ing word imposters, we first have to get a solid handle on the basic jobs any word can have in a sentence.
First up, the most fundamental job, the noun. It's really simple. A noun is just a naming word. It's the name for a person, a place, a thing, or even an abstract idea like happiness. Easy enough, right? Next in our toolkit, the adjective. The adjective's whole job is to describe a noun. It adds all the juicy details, the color, the extra information. You know, if a noun is the what, the adjective answers what kind of. And finally, the verb. This is the engine of the sentence. It's the action word, run, eat, think, or sometimes it's a state of being word, like is or seems. It's what's actually happening. Okay, our toolkit is ready. Let's go meet our first shapeshifter.
All right, say hello to suspect number 1, the gerund. This little guy looks like a verb because, it ends in ing, but it's secretly doing the job of a noun. It is a verb in a noun's disguise.
So this is the most important part to remember. A gerund is made from a verb, but its function, its role in the sentence, is to be a noun. It basically just names an activity. And what's really wild is just how many different noun jobs a gerund can pull off. It can be the subject of the entire sentence, like in smoking causes lung cancer. It can be the object, like in he enjoys reading. It can even pop up after a preposition, like she is good at singing. And, get this, it can even team up with another noun to form a compound noun, like a swimming pool, which of course is a pool for swim it. Okay, time for our second suspect, the participle. This is another word that ends in ing, looks just like a gerund, but instead of acting like a noun, this one moonlights as an adjective.
To be specific, we're talking about the present participle here, and its entire mission in this role is to modify or describe a noun. It's like adding a little bit of action-packed description to a sentence.
And we can see it in action all over the place. It can sit right next to a noun, like in a crying baby. It can also be the star of a whole descriptive phrase, like the girl wearing a red dress smiled, or in Mehran saw a flying bird. It's describing the bird's current action. The bird is literally flying. Okay, this is the main event. This is the big one. We've got the gerund, our verb as a noun, and we've got the participle, our verb as an adjective. They look identical, so how on earth do we tell them apart? Let's put them side by side and figure this out. Now, this is the classic test, and it works every time. Look at the phrase, a swimming pool. Ask yourself, is the pool itself swimming? No, of course not. It's a pool for the purpose of swimming. The ing word names its purpose. That's a noun-like job. Now look at a swimming fish. Is the fish swimming? Yes, absolutely. The ing word is describing the action the fish is doing. It's a description, and that's an adjective's job. See the difference? So I'm going to give you 2 quick tests you can use anytime. First up is the something test. Just try to replace the ing word with the word something. He enjoys reading becomes he enjoys something. Hey, that works perfectly. That means it's a gerund. Now let's try it on the other sentence. I saw a something baby. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. For that, you use the description test. Does the ing word answer the question, what kind of? What kind of baby? A crying baby. Yep, it works. It's a participle.
Okay, so just when you thought you had this all figured out, the plot thickens. There is the third character in this whole drama, a very close relative of the gerund, called the verbal noun. Now look really closely at this comparison. On the left, we have a gerund. Hunting tiger is prohibited. This refers to the act of hunting. It still has some of that verb energy, right? It's taking an object, tiger. But now look at the right. The hunting of the tiger is prohibited. That feels different, doesn't it? It feels more like we're saying the hunt of the tiger. It feels more like a pure, solid thing. And that's exactly what a verbal noun is. It comes from a verb, sure, but it has lost all of its verb-like qualities. It can't take an object directly like a gerund can. You can't say the hunting tiger. It behaves entirely and completely like a noun. It is a pure noun, through and through.
So here's the dead giveaway. Here's how you can spot one of these in the wild. Verbal nouns often wear a very specific uniform. They almost always have a the in front of them and an of right after. The minute you see that structure, the something-ing of the something, you can be pretty darn sure you've just found a verbal noun.
So there you have it, the gerund, the participle, and the tricky verbal noun. They might all end in ing, but each one has its own secret identity, its own job to do in our sentences. Now that you know their secrets, the real question is, can you spot these verb imposters out in the wild?